Manning, you said that Starbucks was putting semen of the sodomites in their coffee, but here's the interesting part, because quote, it flavors up the coffee and it makes you think you're having a good time, which then makes me wonder, do you equate drinking semen with a good time?
Well, you're pushing me up in a little bit of a corner here now, Jink, because I have to be very cautious here. But let me, in all precautions that I can exercise here now, say that, well, a number of people think that semen tastes good. A number of people think that drinking semen is a good idea. And
do you see it that way?
No, Ann, I don't think that myself personally. But I'm just giving you the references of what other people think.
And that's just the way you've described it in your past sermons. But okay, continue.
Well, so if a number of people, you've got literally millions of people around the world who really think that, the taste of semen is quite a flavor. And they seek it in the midst of other kinds of activities. And so one would think, well, all right, one would think Starbucks has deduced that, listen, in an ingenious way, I would say, that were more infamous, ingenious way, they've discovered that since people like semen, and there's so many people drinking it from one another, their body fluids, why not put it in our coffees and flavor up our coffees?
Well, Pastor Manning, I'm getting a sense here overall.
They have the same experience with semen and their lattes as they have in their bedrooms late at night.
So, Pastor Manning, I'm getting a sense for overall from your descriptions here that you think that being gay is a lifestyle choice, so it's a choice that a lot of people would want to make. You think that semen is delicious to a lot of people, and these are choices that people make. So it seems like perhaps if it wasn't for the Bible and the teachings of Moses, etc., that you might have been tempted by those choices as well. Is that the case? Have you been tempted?
Oh, absolutely. No doubt about it.
And the reality hit at the end. Because he's been tempted by it. And that's the true reality. I remember a pastor that I was under at one point. And this is when I was teaching teenage church. And he said, if you ever want to know what a pastor struggles with, look at what they preach about, look at what they talk about the most, and that will tell you what they struggle with the most. So I think it's quite evident that this pastor struggles with his homosexual tendencies, because it seems that is his biggest concern, his biggest cause. And I'm cool with everybody having a cause that you're more interested in than the other thing. But it would seem that this is his cause. And I always thought that this was his issue. And then at the end, he said, oh, if it wasn't for the teachings of Moses, if it wasn't for what you see in Genesis, as far as Sodom and Gomorrah, if it wasn't for parts in Leviticus where it talks about a man lying with another man is an abomination and all these sorts of things, as well as in your New Testament, that he would be all for it. Game. To go play the game. He doth protest too much. But what bothers me the most about that whole sequence is not the laughable thing of what Starbucks is doing and this way of making an issue out of something that is not real as a way of grabbing people's attention. It is the fact that people follow people like him and they are paying attention to what's going on with his right hand and not paying attention to what the world is doing on his left hand. You're not paying attention to the fact that your communities are being regentrified. You're not paying attention to the fact that you're being over-policed, and you're not paying attention to the fact that you are losing jobs, being discriminated at jobs. You're not paying attention to the fact that there are food deserts in your community. Nope. I'm sitting up here in your church and I'm going to preach to you about Starbucks and how we need to go against Starbucks. Let's not talk about community development. Let's not talk about supporting the businesses in the community or buying the houses in this community or becoming self-sufficient. No, we're going to talk about Starbucks. We're not going to talk about how you can utilize food to heal you, and you can eat right and get your body into optimal condition to be able to cure yourself from anything or most things. We're not going to talk about having a healthier lifestyle. No. No. Which, by the way, is in your Bible. What we're going to talk about here is Starbucks putting semen in your coffee because he likes the way it tastes. And I'm pretty sure he's experienced in liking the way it tastes. Christianity is such a waste because you have people, you have their attention and you waste it on bullshit like that instead of bettering the people. If it wasn't for the fact that I don't like Christianity for its false narratives and its made up stories, the people mess it up for what it could do and what it could bring to a community. People are gonna people. Y'all have a great day. Remember always, you gotta free yourself to be yourself because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.